What's up, everyone? Back with another throwing video. This week, we're just coming off of a speed and power block in the gym, and we're gonna come out and test it, see if that speed work I put in is going to translate to the field. I think in some aspects it did. We'll see. This week, like just like most weeks, have a lot of ups and downs. Like some things are hot garbage, and then some things are really good, and it just was just kind of random throughout. Like I couldn't predict what's going to be a good day and what's not, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But we're starting off with the lightweight. This day it was very humid. It was super slimy out there. Um, I had a lot of issues trying to find my balance on the finish. Like trying to, am I too far to the right? Am I too far to the left? I'm not, if I'm too far to the right, like I'm not getting like a big extension like I want. And if I'm too far to the left, I'm blowing out the side like that. And I ended up doing that a bunch this practice. I did my best to like not let it like get to me and like overthink it. And like, cause sometimes your head's just not screwed on right, and you're blowing out the left side, and things are wonky. But I think this practice was pretty consistent. Like nothing was super far. Um, Nothing really to write home about. I think it averaged to be 70 feet overall. Most of the throws were 71, and I had a couple little flyers that were short. I had one at like 65 and that was towards the end. Once I started getting towards the end, like stuff started really dropping off. So I knew it was time to switch over to another event. And for this day, we're doing light hammer as well. Um, but funny about this day, this was actually the worst light hammer practice I've had in like 2 years. Uh, it was really bad. I threw a 110, 115, a 117. And after those four, I just called it. I was like, this is not worth my time. And a lot of that had to do with my tacky, right? Being so humid, this batch of tacky that I have, it's not holding up to the humidity that like I would like. And that happens. Like the next batch I get, it's going to be like perfect. It's going to be nice and thick when it's 90 degrees out or whatever. Um, I prefer a thicker tacky than not. It sets up better. You have to reapply it more, but I'm okay with that. So tacky was kind of failing me, and I kind of failed myself by just not having good practice. But then we go to the next day, and we're starting with stones, and we're doing a lot of non-reverses. If you guys watch and you've been noticing, I've been doing a lot of non-reverse throws, and that's really I need to keep that right foot turning on that start right there. The big push my hip through, twist my right foot, really get into that big power push position, and I think it's starting to work out a little bit. I'm starting to get a good understanding of twisting that right foot. Um, Stones have always been a battle for me to like have a good understanding of it, right? I can understand sheath, like the weights, the hammers, like caber. I have a good concept of it, but like stones, like it's always kind of eluded me. I hear it, I see it, I just can't do it because I have no feel for it. And so we're putting a lot of effort in, like try to get that feel for it. Um, Even here, like on these open stones, like I'm adjusting my footwork a bunch, trying to find something that fits me, something that I like to do, something that's consistent. We did not find it this practice. We did not find it at all. But like we're still out there pushing on it, trying to get there. Later in the week, we start the practice off with kind of like a modified foot position that I normally would do, and it ended up failing me, and so we went back to kind of like a normal traditional thing. But there's some real good off season work that I got planned out for the open stone that we're not going to really dig into yet. It's not the time for it. But then we move into heavyweight. This heavyweight session was like just kind of like the last lightweight session was just pretty average across the board, which isn't bad per se. Like I'm consistent. I'm being consistently average, and that's okay. I didn't have any like big tosses. I think my best one was 35, and my worst one was 32. But most of them were 34, so that's that's okay. I mean, if this were competition, I'd be kind of mad that I'm throwing 35. I'd be wondering what's happening, why am I like this? But not it's not super critical, right? In practice, we're working on little things here and there to try to get better. We don't have to throw PRs. Um, but this, if you see in the bottom corner there, there's a sweet tea, man. This practice session was sponsored by McAllister's Deli and their free tea day. Apparently, once a year, McAllister's Deli has a day where you can just go in there and get a big old glass of regular tea or sweet tea or mixed if you want. And so I got two of those. I've been drinking tea all day long. I don't normally drink tea, but I gave it a try. Boy, it tasted good. And it made this hot average practice, feel pretty nice. So, yay for that. Yay for McAllister's and their free tea day. Um, so then we move over into the light hammer. This light hammer practice went better. There was one of these towards the end. I think it's the third to last throw. That one actually went pretty good. That one went like 123, which in practice for me is a decent toss. I'm glad when I'm going over 20 in practice. Anything under that, I'm not super jazzed on. But man, it's a mixture of this day. It got better as it went on. I think it's because the sweet tea's hitting. I got my corn socks on again. They're different pair of corn socks. They also say "aw shucks," um, so that's cool. That was actually the big one, I believe. Even though it was like a big nasty foul, I still was able to really step out and put it out there. Now wob in the backyard. So this was I threw some wob here right after I had a gym session. I did my snatch and clean day right before this. Man, I thought it was going to help, like be kind of like primed and ready because like the snatch and clean day, like it's not super intensive. It's very just me trying to be quick. It's not nothing's really heavy. It's not going to exhaust me. So I thought it would be like a good warm up to a wob session. Um, it wasn't, man. I made I think one of these tosses, and the rest were bad. I had no legs under me. Like it's all like I dipped down and I just kind of lock my hips, and I don't extend up like I should. It's all like upper body. It, it's not great. Again, and just like Stones, Wob is also a bad event for me. And when I'm doing it right, I know it's right. When I feel like a rhythm, even if I'm missing, like I know the rhythm, like oh that feels good. Let's go. Let's keep chasing that. And then other days, it's like I don't know how I did that before. I'm so lost, and this was kind of one of those days. So took some polls and called it. I think the bar was set at like 13, like a big 13, so maybe like 13.6. If I'm hitting 13 in the back, that means like 14 on the field every day. So we'll see. All right, so now we're doing back the field, throwing some Braemar, some standing non reverse. I'm actually like using I'm 16-pound shot. I've got a 20 that I'll use. I'll usually use for my standing throws, but this week I've been using pretty much only like a 16. Um, I don't really need the 20 for what I'm doing right now because what I'm doing again is just trying to work on that, pushing that hip around, twisting that foot, staying grounded with a long like fingertip finish, and it's working. I'm feeling more comfortable with these non-reverses. The only thing I need to do now is find some intensity on my left side, like really use that left arm to throw it and build some speed and yeah, just pretty much that. It was like that left arm, big whip, and push it out. I did do some like open stone work after this. It was bad. I couldn't dial it in. I kept stepping on the toe board with my left foot as it comes around, and so we called it. Took a couple pulls, and we're like, we're not getting anything out of this. We're just teaching bad habits. We don't need to do this right now. Let's move on. And then we go into some heavy hammer. My buddy Nick Aston posted some videos on Instagram of him like setting like a heavy hammer practice PR. I think also a light. And I was like, man, Well, I'll go throw hammers now. I'll go throw a heavy hammer for sure. Um, they weren't great, they weren't amazing, but one of them, I think it's this one here, has the finish I've been looking for, like the big like head back, shoulders dipped. No, that one wasn't it. It's probably this one. Either way, there's one that has a good finish I've been looking for. It's just kind of hard to do, especially when you only throw the light hammer. Yeah, that was it. That one went like 101, which for me in practice even like that's not super far. But like the finish for the day was spot on. It's kind of what I've been looking for. Um, and then these light hammers weren't as good as the last light hammer session, but they were okay. But we're throwing hammers 3 times a week. Like some of these are not going to be good sessions. Some are going to, some aren't. That is what it is. But I think the best on these lights were like 119. I think they were all 119 except for one of them, which was like 117. Weird day. It is what it is. But I have been doing some like one wines with the hammers, and so that's been kind of fun just to like measure my one wine, see how far they're going. That's it, guys. As always, throw far. God bless.